This can alleviate and prevent cramps and improve flexibility and muscle control. Hi, I'm Rebecca Brayton and welcome to WatchMojo.com. Our host Veronica spoke with the fitness experts at Victoria Park about the importance of stretching to our workout routine.
Who needs to stretch?
Everybody should be stretching to certain points. And it's funny because women tend to like to stretch, and a lot of them, they need it less than most of the muscle-bound guys.
Your body needs to be strong and it needs to be mobile. So you have to work on your strength and your flexibility. So people who are very lax need to compensate for that laxity by building strength. And people who are very strong and stiff need to work a little bit more on their mobility. Now for professional athletes, they may have other professional considerations that require them to have more limited range of motion because they need power and explosivity, or they may need to have a lot more range of motion because their sport demands it of them. So it really depends, but for the average person, they need to do both, strength and flexibility, and do both of those really carefully and strategically.
Now, what time is ideal for stretching?
By experience, it's easier and it's better at night. Like the later possible, if you stretch before bedtime, you will lower your heart rate, you will lower your brain activity, and you'll be more prone to a deeper sleep. You don't have to do, okay, wow, I need 30 minutes to do a stretching class. You don't need that. You just grab a mat, grab a pillow, get in front of the TV. It's gonna be done, 15, 20 minutes a day. It's amazing what it does, and you don't have to set up a special session for it.
A lot of people, I see them, they get on the treadmill, they warm up, and then they do these kind of passive stretches where they grab their ankle and they bend their leg back, and then they bend down and they try to stretch their hamstring. But the truth is that there's been multitudes and multitudes of studies that show that that kind of stretching before a workout does not decrease your range of injury, and in fact, in some cases, it increases it. Whereas I think Paul can explain perhaps better what type of dynamic flexibility you need to incorporate as part of your workout.
But people need to understand that there's only a 40% correlation between dynamic flexibility, like if you do movements, and static. I mean, when I have martial artists, some guys are able to kick over your head, but they can't do the split. For me, as a strength coach, I like better to work with dynamic flexibility, although we do a lot of static after. That's the big debate. It's been researched for the last 30 years. Every time I give a seminar, I always tell people, guys, you need to do some dynamic stretching before you train and static after, not the opposite, because you're sending a message in neurophysiology, in the Golgi tendon organ, and the muscle spindles to, okay guys, okay, we could relax now, our job is done. But you actually want more power to do your exercise. Then if you activate them through heel kicks or movement and dynamic, then the spindle cells and the Golgi tendon organ will be, hey, wow, now we're ready for work. Not like you put the muscle to sleep and you want to make it work. That's a danger. That's why static stretching should be reserved only after training.
Now, you mentioned static and dynamic. What are some other types of stretching?
It's a very large family, but there are some categories that people are familiar with. So for example, ballistic stretching is an old-fashioned type of stretching that is highly associated with injury, but it's still out there. So that's something we should probably talk about, is ballistic stretching. There's static stretching, dynamic stretching, there's isometric stretching, there is myofascial stretching, there's partner stretching, there's active stretching and passive stretching. So there's really about 8 large categories that we can go into in a lot more depth.
Do you guys have any final words of advice for everyone who have been stretching but in the wrong way?
Don't let yourself fooled by if you feel it, it's good. A lot of time I have people, they're doing myofascial stretching. I don't feel it really like in the muscle, or I don't feel the tension. It's actually good. If you feel too much tension, a lot of time you're creating more damage. You're not actually working on the health of the tissue.
The first signs of aging are collagen loss that we notice in the mirror. We get little wrinkles and our face ages. But you have to understand that collagen is a building block of all your tissue. So as you get older, the flexibility of your body will slowly erode. So even if you are an active person, make sure that flexibility is a part of your health and wellness strategy. Because if you want to be dancing at your great-grandson's wedding, then flexibility is an important part of that training strategy, not just the cardio and not just the resistance training.
Well, thank you very much, guys.
It was our pleasure.